Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is the Crafty Homebody and my name is Missy and I'm thrilled that you're here today. So today we're doing something a little different. I told you that when I got back from my vacation, I'd be sharing a little bit of a different style video where it's actually going to be like a journaling vlog. So I'm starting out the video this morning to let you know, hey, I'm back from vacation and I'm ready to document all of my memories and to use all of the fun things that I brought back from my vacation in my journals. So when we packed my journal to go bag, which I did use in the hotel,
Aren't you going to get a shower? Doesn't seem that bad. I wouldn't just think it.
So much fun to have this. And my husband even got a little creative with my washi tape. I'll show you. So thank goodness I brought my washi tape. Our door was the only door decorated with fall washi. But anyways, I was happy to have taken this and I did fill my ephemera envelope that I did stick in here from my vacation. So I'll pull out some of the things that I stuck in my little ephemera. So this is the hotel envelope that our things, our cards to open our doors was in. I kept some receipts from some special places that we went to. This is paper out of some of the food that we ate that I have pictures of. Another receipts. I got some cute and adorable stickers. Got some stickers. I got some postcards. I saved, we went to a really nice dinner at Red Lobster with my son. I have a picture of him. He's hilarious. And I got brochures everywhere I went so that I can document all of the things that we did with brochures. So I have lots of memorabilia, or junk as they say, and we are going to begin to document my trip in my daily journal. But I just want to let you guys know that this is probably going to be a video that I'm going to split up into parts. I think today we're going to create the pages because I would like to do waterfall tabs so that it's all cohesive. It's one trip, but it's many different days. And I think waterfall tabs is going to articulate, if you will, that very, very well, showcase that very, very well. And so I think today's video is kind of like gonna prep that. And then the following videos is how I'm going to be putting like the layouts together and using a lot of the memorabilia and things like that I brought home. So we're going to get started, and this is kind of going to be like a journaling vlog. So I'm actually going to show you some clippets of our vacation so that you can kind of get like the aesthetic and the feel of the page that I'm trying to create, so you can actually see some memories from that moment before I put it to paper. So I'm really excited to share that with you. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to get busy. Okay. So we're going to clip this down. We're going to light our candle. And I think I'm going to make 1, 2, 5, I think 5 pages. I think so. We're gonna start from the last page and kind of work our way in. So let me grab all of my fall washi. Start with leaves. And like I said, we're gonna do like a waterfall tab first, and then I'm gonna be adding some of my other stuff in. So this is super, super, super simple. This is one of the easiest ways to kind of like do Dutch doors, if that's what you wanna call it. I need to be able to see some. Let me get this real quick. Let's see where the end of this goes. Okay. So we're gonna do this super, super quick. It's super, super easy. And I think this will be a great way to be able to document the whole trip all together. Okay. And then we'll turn the next page. Alrighty. And we'll bring that in. I think I'm gonna do a little pink. Let's see. We're gonna go here. Make sure it's straight. Okay. Alright, we used those two. And I'm gonna use stripes. Okay. And then we're gonna add like some of the postcards and things like that in for tip outs and all of that fun stuff. So we have actually more space than I think we're gonna have. Okay, I don't want any white showing. Okay. Alrighty. Then because we're gonna go in with a dark color for the next one. Okay. Super simple. Super, super, super simple. But like I said, I think we're gonna get all of this together done today. And then we might be able to get one spread done. And then we'll work on other spreads in another video, because I don't want the video to get super, super long, because I am also going to be sharing some experiences with you guys too. All right, let's do a lighter color. Let's do these pumpkins. Okay. We're going to keep them all kind of going the same way. All right. And all right, this page, I'm actually going to use these pumpkins. So maybe we should do a dark color. Let's do this one. Alrighty. I'll do dark color. Alright. That. I'll put these off to the side so I don't get them confused. Alrighty, and then we're gonna go in here. And we're going to put this one here. Okay. right, that looks cute. All right, so I'm just gonna keep on trimming all of this up and I'll be right back. I don't wanna bore you with all of this cutting, but I'll be right back. Okay, so there's our waterfall tabs. I think they look really, really cute. So now we're just going to trim them up. We're going to make them look nice. Trim. Now we have the pretty little waterfall tabs. Isn't that beautiful? We're gonna turn the page and we're gonna do the same thing, I think, on the backs of each one of these. I'm trying to think if I want to do that because we could do something different on the backs. For instance, we could be taking like these, you know what I mean, and doing our tip outs, but we could also be putting them here and adding them like as a page. So I'm not exactly sure, but I think it looks really, really plain. Let's take the time to do it. So let's do the pink one here. And we're gonna turn them inward. So this is how we're making waterfall tabs. And I might speed this little portion up for you guys. This one. Okay, so everything within me wants to do my trip in chronological order. But there are some days where I did more than other days, so I need to just get over that and use the biggest space for the most filled days instead of just doing everything like chronological. So I want to show you that I did print out lots and lots of pictures. I have lots of pictures of our trip and the things that we saw and the things that we did. And I will be using these, but I need to decide what I want to do first. And one of the first things I think that I really want to do is I want to document, like on the first page, where we were, which was in Pennsylvania. So I'm going to see if I can't find a picture in one of these of just like the state of Pennsylvania. We were in Ural Highlands, the Appalachian Mountains, basically. Let me see, there has to be a picture of, oh my goodness gracious, these are huge, of Pennsylvania. One of these. Oh. Yeah, there we go. So I think I'm gonna cut that out. To document where we were. Oh, look at that page. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to cut out this. And I think I'm gonna cut out Laurel Highlands as well. So it was a 6.5 hour trip to get from the Jersey Shore to the mountains of Pennsylvania. We were headed into Western Pennsylvania, what they call Laurel Highlands up in the Appalachian Mountains. The ride was beautiful. We got there safe, but as we arrived into Pennsylvania, we could quickly see that fall kind of has already arrived, but yet there was still beautiful summer flowers left. I swear it's the best. And the hotel that we stayed at was very, very nice. So I think the first pages that I should be documenting is just kind of like the introductory of, look, this is the trip that we took. This is the hotel we were at. And then as we turn the pages, we'll get into like all of the places that we visited and everything. So this was the hotel. It was a beautiful breakfast. It was very clean, very well maintained. The only complaint we had was the beds were super hard, and Jeff and I, my husband and I, had a very hard time sleeping, but we did really like the hotel. It was very, very nice. Right here, I think that's the one I'm going to use simply because I don't like the blue background in this one. So I'm going to actually cut this out. And this is how you use the memorabilia that you bring back from your trips. Okay. Alrighty. Put this stuff up here for a second. Alright. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of cut this out, wiggy wonky. I like the color of this one. It kind of goes a lot better with the fall washi tape that we use than the other one that was a little bit smaller. It had a lot of blue. So we'll just kind of cut this a little wonky along the edge so it kind of goes with what we got going on here. Okay. Let's see. So we were in the mountains of, it's called Laurel Highlands, but it was the Appalachian Mountains. And then we will cut out Pennsylvania. I'm going to use these pictures of us. I really like this. Right here, I like this. So I think I'm actually going to cut this out. So using brochures and maps and things like that that you collect while you are on vacation is a great way to use all of those special things to create beautiful, what I think is beautiful pieces in your journal. I mean, they make the most beautiful spreads. They capture exactly what you were doing. They capture words and places. You can actually use maps as some of the background. But since it was very fall-like while we were in Pennsylvania, I really thought that this captured the feel of what it was starting to look like while we were there. I love the word Laurel Highlands because that was the area in the Appalachian Mountains that we mostly spent most of our time. And I love that all throughout all of these brochures and maps and all of these things, there's pictures, there's little statement pieces, there's like what animals are present there. There's pictures of like hiking and biking and all of the things that we did, as you will see as these videos progress. I'm not going to be able to do the entire full vacation spread in one video. Otherwise, it might be 4 or 5 hours long. This is a lot of work. This video alone was an hour and 42 minutes before I condensed it down to about 35 minutes. That's about where I like to keep my videos. So we will have a couple parts to this, but I think this spread is going to be beautiful. And I think it's really going to pull together with the waterfall tabs representing different days. One trip, but different days. So as I put together this little spread right here, which is just like the introduction of like, this is our trip. We went to Laurel Highlands. Those pictures that I'm putting in are actually, as soon as we got there, we went to dinner, and that's us actually sitting at the table where we were going to eat dinner. So that's actually our first night. And then the very next morning, we took a hike out to a very beautiful waterfall that is very close to my heart. We lived here before we moved to New Jersey. So these were my stomping grounds. This is where I've been. My son is still there. That's one of the reasons why we were there, is to visit him and to visit some friends and things. And this particular place was called East Park, and it has absolutely beautiful waterfall there. And this is the place that I actually spread my father's ashes before we left for New Jersey. My father always expressed when he was here with us that he did not like New Jersey. That is how we ended up in Pennsylvania. I'm originally born and raised on the Jersey Shore in New Jersey. My parents were from New Jersey, but his parents went to this area right here in the Laurel Highlands of Pennsylvania and convinced him to move out there. And he just fell in love with Pennsylvania. And after moving there, that's where he loved. That's where he wanted to be. That's where he wanted to stay. So he expressed many, many times that, Pennsylvania was his home. That's where he wanted to stay. He loved Pennsylvania. So when we decided as a family that we were going to move to the Jersey Shore, I just felt wrong bringing my father's ashes, bringing him here. So I picked one of the most beautiful places I could think of, one of the places that I frequented almost daily, and that was very special to me, and that was these falls. And I actually spread his ashes here before we left for New Jersey. So revisiting was wonderful. The waterfall was not as big as it usually is, and we were asking some of our friends and family. They actually were in a drought, and I think that's why the leaves are turning so early there, because you'll see as these videos progress that the leaves were already falling. But usually this waterfall that I'm showing you is like 5 times as big, gushing. You usually can't even hear yourself talk. I couldn't believe how small they were, but they were in a really bad drought. So it was very shocking to see the falls that way. But it was still beautiful to visit. The leaves were just turning. The area is just gorgeous, regardless if the falls are big or not. You know what I mean? So on this other page, I'm going to actually tuck the picture of me at those falls in that card. As you can see, that was the card holder that they gave us at the hotel to put our key cards in to get in the door. Well, I gave the key cards back, but I kept the little card holder. And I thought that would be a perfect little tuck spot to actually put the picture of me at the falls in. And then in the brochure, I actually found a picture of the falls. That's usually what the falls look like. And I found a picture of it. So collect brochures when you're out and about visiting places. They're fantastic for memorabilia when you are documenting in your journals. I highly, highly, highly recommend them. You can always find them at gift shops along with postcards and sometimes stickers and just fun little things, So I love that I got this beautiful picture of the falls in full fall-esque, the way it's supposed to look when it's not in a drought. and I'm gonna actually put like a little tab on my picture here. I backed that picture with cardstock so that I could write on the back of it, and I'll use that little card holder like a pocket, and I'll stick my picture in there. I'm actually going to write on the back of it. I'm going to actually write on the picture that I cut from the brochure of the falls, the name of the falls on the side. And then you're going to see me pull out one of my favorite things to do, as you all know, in the spread is stickers. I'm going to start going through all of my fall stickers, and I'm going to fill in all of those spaces with beautiful fall-esque stickers. This is one of the things that took me the longest, and I cut the whole thing out because I was going through all of my stickers. I think I spent 40 minutes on itself just going through stickers. So I cut that completely out of this. But you're going to start seeing me lay down stickers on the page to bring the two pages together. And then video number 2 of this trip will be when we turn the page and we do something else fun. I'm so excited to continue to share this kind of like little trip series with you guys. I'm going to try to keep the videos around 35 minutes so that I don't bore you, but I can tell that this is going to be a project, and that's okay. I really, really enjoy it. I think this one will take a little bit longer because we did the waterfall tabs and we kind of prepped the journal, but from here on out, we're ready to roll to just jump right into the spreads, and I'm excited to share little clippets of our trip with you guys. So it's kind of more like a journaling vlog instead of just like journaling process. You get a little bit of vlog and a little bit of process, and I think it's going to be so much fun. So we're going to pull out those stickers here in a second. I'm using my white jelly roll here to document directly on that picture that I clipped out of the brochure, the name of the waterfall, which is East Park Waterfall. So I'm going to actually, write that on there, and then we're going to get into the best part, which is the sticker fun. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that you're excited for other ones to come. And I hope that you love this idea of like journaling vlogs where you guys can see clippets of my life and see how, you know, things that I've done and do, how they affect me and how precious they are to me. And that's why I want to record them in my journals. And if you like this style, let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And I hope you come back for episode 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. Who knows how many there'll be. But I'm just going to keep plugging away at this until I have my entire trip documented in my everyday journal. But as I always say, until the next video, take care of you and stay crafty, friends. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.